The Bohemian Club was founded 120 years ago in San Francisco by a group of newspapermen, businessmen, and artists. Modern-day members include some of the most influential American men of the 20th century.
The CEOs and presidents, vice presidents of the big four networks all attend year after year, and you have former presidents, you have current presidents, you have British royalty that go there. Helmut Schmidt, the previous German chancellor, wrote a book, Men in Power as a Political Retrospective. And in the book, he said, look, the Trilateral Commission goes there, the Bilderberg Group goes there, the leaders of the world go there for 15 days, and a lot of decisions get made there. And he admitted that they are establishing a private corporate world government, and that one of the most important secret meeting houses is the Bohemian Grove.
Today, we'll be discussing the mysteries, legends, and curious speculations regarding Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove is a campground in Monte Rio, California that contains 2,700 acres of land and is located on Bohemian Drive. This secluded and very private campground is a place of great mystery, and what goes on there can only be speculation, as there are no electronics allowed. And it's also something that none of the 1% who are members are allowed or even willing to talk about. It's also a place that many people, up until it was infiltrated in the year 2000 that is, had no idea about but definitely would want to know about. There have been some seriously questionable activities that have taken place there throughout the years, and it's open to interpretation as to whether or not the stories are believable or just some more theories being spread by the rest of the 99% of the population who have never and most likely will never be receiving an invitation to see firsthand what exactly this place is and what happens there. Put simply, Bohemian Grove is basically a summer camp for the most elite. Media powerhouses, former United States presidents, celebrities, artists, musicians, and more. All male, of course, while women and minors are allowed to attend as guests of whichever male in their life is important enough to be a member at a certain time of year. They must be escorted off the premises by 9 p.m. For 2 weeks each year, in June or July, some of the world's most wealthy and powerful men get together for a bunch of ritualistic and seemingly bizarre behavior, right in the middle of what is also known as the Redwood Forest. Now, this is all speculation, of course, as whatever happens here is very secret and extremely private, which is what makes it all the more interesting. While insiders and experts will tell you that the Bohemian Grove is simply a place for these extremely wealthy men to go once a year just to let loose and have some innocent fun, without the prying and constantly judging and fickle eyes of the public, not to mention the media outlets throughout the nation that constantly have their judgmental lenses pointed at them, other, more skeptical people will tell you something completely different. Now let's begin our tour of the Bohemian Grove according to the rampant speculation on the internet. It's up to you to decide for yourself. For as long as the Grove has existed and hosted the world's most powerful, wealthy, and elite men, rumors of sinister rituals and brazen displays of hedonism have circled its name. In more recent years, with the advancement of the internet, these theories and stories range from the truly bizarre to the seemingly illegal. First of all, many people find it very concerning that at least 5 former United States presidents are allegedly members. With constantly swirling rumors about secret societies such as the Illuminati and the Skull and Bones Society, it only seems to lend more credence to the gossip that these entities secretly run the world. Why else would it have to have such secrecy surrounding it? After all, the Redwood Forest is, of course, filled with redwood trees, which are known to be extremely tall and obviously are there to lend protection from onlookers as to the goings-on taking place within their large trunks. There are also a ton of surveillance cameras and security guards. No one is allowed to bring cell phones or any other form of contact with the outside world while you're there, and also, inside the 2,700 acres of campground are smaller campgrounds, allegedly to keep things all the more contained. There are guard stops at every single entrance and exit. The full protection of the Secret Service and the local police is offered to the Grove and its members anytime they are meeting or spending any time there. What could possibly be so important about a bunch of men seemingly just going camping off-grid for 2 weeks in the summer, albeit very powerful men and in a very large group, that they would need such extreme measures to keep what's happening there so incredibly private? This secret club was formed in 1872 by a man named Henry Harry Edwards. Since 1878, the members of the Bohemian Club have been attending the 2-week-long party at the Grove every single summer. In 1899, the members decided that instead of renting the campground, they would just go ahead and purchase it. That way it was not only permanently, but exclusively available to only them. The club has mainly Republican members and mostly conservative political beliefs. The motto for the club and the Grove is taken directly from Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, being, "Weaving spiders come not here." Members claim that no business deals are ever made there, but being the most rich and powerful men in the entire country and perhaps the world, what else could they possibly be doing or talking about then? Many believe that this is where the world's most powerful and influential men come to discuss how to continue to manipulate the rest of the population into traversing the path in which they see as fit for not just our country, but our planet. Where secret societies such as the Illuminati congregate to discuss its next move towards global domination and the introduction to the masses of their sinister and underhanded plot to eliminate most of the world's population. The discussion of total mass destruction of the world as we know it by the members of this group. This is also why members of the media are allowed to attend, allegedly, so they can push the agenda of this New World Order secretly and through our own television, news, and social media outlets. In the year 2000, a man named Alex Jones was somehow able to not only sneak himself, but a camera into the Bohemian Grove during one of these 2-week camping trips. What he was able to catch these rich and powerful men doing was bizarre, to say the least. Before we get into what he caught on camera, though, let's talk about what Jones alleges he read in reports that were supposedly released about what the members at the Grove are actually talking about. Mainly, population control. Why would these men be talking or worrying about control of the Earth's population? Is this where they're going to decide who lives, who dies, and who goes on to the supposed bunkers in the ground at the Denver International Airport? Jones also alleges that right after he turned his camera off, a member of the Sonoma County Sheriff's Office approached him and asked him why he was filming. Jones also states that there are many hidden cameras in the Grove which are unseen to the naked eye. Jones filmed a ceremony of sorts called the Cremation of Care. This ceremony has allegedly been taking place since 1980 and is used as the kickstart to the 2 weeks of ceremony in the Redwood Forest. The Cremation of Care consists of several men dressed in red hooded robes carrying torches while others carry an effigy of a human body enclosed in a wooden coffin-like box. This human body is actually a wooden skeleton stuffed with straw, and its name is Care. The men take this skeleton, or human body, and bring it to the center of the stage while the all-male audience members look on. The stage is on the side of a giant lake, and overlooking the entire ritual is a gigantic owl structure. Why the owl? Well, supposedly, if you look on the $1 bill, you can see an owl picking up out of the edge of the semicircle in one particular part of the dollar. Is this the symbol for the secret society that the Grove itself makes up? If so, why is it on our own money? Reportedly many, if not all of the men who attend this excursion each year, have at least one statue or symbol of the owl in their homes. So obviously, it has a significant meaning to it. But what is the meaning? Well, many believe it's because these men worship the owl statues and figurines. As far as this Care person is placed just beneath the owl statues, and this is when still other members come out dressed up as tree spirits and coerce the onlookers to leave all of their cares and worries behind. As they're saying this and singing and dancing, they burn the effigy at an altar.
When will ye learn that me ye cannot slay? Year after year ye burn me in this grove, lifting your puny shouts of triumph to the stars. But when again ye turn your faces to the marketplace, do ye not find me waiting as of old? Fools! Fools!
behold, and some of us prevail against thee, and some thou shalt destroy. But this too we know. Year after year within this happy grove, our fellowship bans thee for a space. Thy malevolence which would pursue us here has lost its power under these friendly trees. So shall we burn thee once again this night, and in the flames that eat thine effigy, we shall read the sign, Midsummer sets us free.
You shall burn me once again. Now but these flames, which hither ye have brought from regions where I reign, ye fools and priests, I spit upon your fire.
Thou, great son of all mortal wisdom, thou of Bohemia, we beseech thee, grant us thy counsel.
Begone, dull care. Fire shall have its will of thee. Begone, dull care. And all the winds make merry with thy dust.
Hail, fellowship's eternal flame. Once again, midsummer sets us free.
Keeping in mind no women or children are allowed at the Grove during this retreat, let's move on to some fun called High Jinx and Low Jinx. This is where some of the men dress up as women and other characters and put on trashy, racist, sexist, and altogether raunchy plays, again for the rest of the members in the audience. The main objective with these plays, though, is to degrade women, allegedly. It could almost blow your mind to imagine some of the men who are attending these rituals dressing up and performing these provocative and risque plays for the other super powerful and filthy rich men in attendance each year. These are just a few of the things that apparently go on at the Bohemian Grove, but perhaps we will never really know all that a membership entails because of the privacy and secrecy that such men of power, wealth, prestige, and respect seemingly demand when vacationing each year in the Redwood Forest. So, what do you think of all this? Regardless of how they're interpreted, these rituals do absolutely happen behind the gates at Bohemian Grove. We welcome your comments below.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I am not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence in the response and dedication of our citizens whenever they are fully informed. I not only could not stifle controversy among your readers, I welcome it. This administration intends to be candid about its errors. For as a wise man once said, an error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. We intend to accept full responsibility for our errors, and we expect you to point them out when we miss them. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive. That is why the Athenian lawmaker Solon decreed it a crime for any citizen to shrink from controversy. And that is why our press was protected by the First Amendment, the only business in America specifically protected by the Constitution, not primarily to amuse and entertain, not to emphasize the trivial and the sentimental, not to simply give the public what it wants, but to inform, to arouse, to reflect, to state our dangers and our opportunities, to indicate our crises and our choices, to lead, mold, educate, and sometimes even anger